particular session.
Yes, yes. Okay, so once again, happy Independence Day to all of you.
Happy Independence.
Happy Independence Day, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So today we will start a new session, which is basically the anatomy and physiology part, which is related to the yogic principles. Fine. And before starting today's session, we will do a small prayer, and I will request everyone to join your hands and close your eyes that we can contemplate. So please join your hands, close your eyes, and if you are unmuted, please mute yourself. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karvavahay Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palm, and when you're feeling the warmth, put it on your eyes, on the face. Take a relaxing breath for a prolonged time and gently release. Open your eyes. So, before starting today's session, I will share you with all, and I have the option of the screen sharing also. In the chat box, I am giving you one link. So before starting today's session, I will request everyone to open the link, and I just want to know the depth of the anatomy, how the fun, how the class will be, how will you enjoy. I will see that. So in the chat box, I have given one link. There are 4 to 5 questions based on the skills you acquire already and you have on anatomy and physiology, because I know that everybody, those who are present over here, they are very much enthusiasts and yoga enthusiasts basically. So please open that link, and there are few questions, very basic questions related to our daily activities, and which is very much relevant to gather the knowledge of the anatomy and physiology. There will be no hush things. So you can just open it, and it will take 2 to 3 minutes to fill it up. So you just, once you have done, you just make a thumbs up, then we will proceed. And I will see also that from which extent I need to start the session, because there is so many things in anatomy and physiology, and mostly the students, those who are appearing for the medical science, they fail maximum in anatomy and physiology, because it is too difficult, too much difficult, and so many things, because the entire human body system is based on it. So it is not possible to memorize all the nitty-gritties of human body, because I'm also not required as a yoga therapist or yoga professional. The part which is very much important and you need to know for upcoming examination or to prove your skill, I will try to focus on those things only, because the irrelevant section and the irrelevant parts will be not give you any kind of benefits. So once you have done, just put a thumbs up in the screen so we can start. Okay. So just once you are filling that, I just want to know that how many of you have tried to memorize the
না আমি ক্লাস চল এই তো আমার অ্যানাটমিক ক্লাস দিয়েছে আছে 7টা থেকে 8:30।
Okay, and please mute yourself, please. And once I believe that the participants, those who are present over here, they want to pursue their career in the yogic field, because there are so many dialects. Basically, so many people are coming into that particular area. So, if you want to engross or inculcate or indulge yourself into that particular field, few skills and few knowledge can separate yourself from the mass. I have seen so many people are coming from the different backgrounds. Most of them are not non-science. That means major arts or commerce background. It will be very difficult to memorize them the entire thing. So once you are filling it up, I will just share one screen with you all. Let me know whether it is visible or not. It is just a screen, okay? There is a nothing notes and all. Just a screen I will show you once you will be filling, because I want these sessions to be interactive, because and both way. I will giving instructions and you are just accepting it and nodding your head will not give any, you have to barge into my territories. So please let me know whether the screen is visible or not. Visible? Please anyone confirm?
It is visible, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes,
ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me what is the name of this, which is uh, prominent in the screen, which you can find out in your screen? Can you tell me what is this? Anybody, anyone? I just want a single name.
Human skull.
Human skull. Perfect. Who said that? Please state your name.
Bultipal.
Okay. Very good. Multiple. So see. Now, if I see that human being, the way it is presented in the screen, like it is facing my face, and if I rotate that screen to the opposite side, there are two directions, right? ये दोनों तरफ है, एक तरफ मेरी तरफ दिख रहा है और दिख रहा है, और वॉट एवर इट इज जेंडर स्पेसिफिक, आई एम नॉट मेकिंग इट, और ये दूसरी तरफ है. So there are two directions, right? Anatomy जब हम पढ़ते हैं, once we study the anatomy, we follow the directions of the human body. मतलब आगे पीछे ऐसे नहीं बोलते, मतलब ये सामने वाला पार्ट और ये पीछे वाला हिस्सा ऐसे नहीं बोलते हम. We barely speak, we never speak like that. This is the पीछे वाला हिस्सा. It will say who will say that? The layman. The layman will say this, ये पीछे वाला हिस्सा है.
তো পড়ানোতে সাথে সাথে রেজাল্ট দিয়ে দিল, একটা এক্সাম নিল, সাথে সাথে রেজাল্ট দিয়ে দিল।
দিয়ে দিল এক্সাম রেজাল্ট? কত হলো রেজাল্ট? কত হলো? Someone is speaking, so I want to know how much of you scored more than 50.
Ma'am, I am requesting you can mute ourselves.
Yes, I can mute yourself, but I do not want to suppress your voice, right? So everybody, we have the right to speak. So it is your responsibility, all of you are adult, so it is your responsibility to maintain the decorum. I cannot, because you are not school kids. So I will request on behalf of my side that please mute yourself, and if you have something, you raise your hand, then we will discuss. So now let's see. So now I am going to show you the full body of that object. This is the full body. Now there are the systems, layer by layer. Fine. Once we see someone, once we see someone like that, it will start, the anatomy and physiology will start from this look. ये सब है, मतलब वो स्किन है, उसके अंदर क्या है हम लोगों को दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, we cannot see, but one by one layer will be open up. So these is the basic systems. Once we go, these are called systems. These are the systems. जो दिख रहा है ये है skin. Skin is a protecting layer and it covers our entire body. And this system is called integumentary system. Okay, the first system of the body, which is a system that is integumentary system. Neha Verma is requesting to record to their computer. I don't know whether the protocol will approve it or not. I think later on you will get the all videos. I think so. Because right now I cannot approve, because everybody will get the entire recorded sessions on behalf of Sir Yoga and Happiness. So I will not allow anyone to record individually.
Okay. 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 It's okay, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the skin, which is the name of the system, integumentary system, which can visible. The skin, only the skin it is visible. Now the skin, we are layering it off. Okay. So now it is the muscle. Just below the skin, which system is there? That is called the muscular system. Okay, the muscular system. So once the skin is removed, we can see the muscles. This is the muscular system. Once the muscles are integrated and few bones are revealed. See, few bones we can see along with the muscles. All the muscles are not being removed. That is why these are integrated. It is very difficult to remove bone and muscle. So that is why it is better to call musculoskeletal system. Right? Musculoskeletal system, not muscular system, not skeletal system. It is muscle along with the bones. Skeletal means bones. Skeleton is the structure. वो मतलब जो खांचा है वो, that is skeleton. Skeleton is integrated. Otherwise, skeleton will loosen up. Who is holding those skeletons and bone? Those are muscles. So musculoskeletal system. Fine. Next. There is so many fine lines which are not visible. These are the nerves and the circulatory pathways. The blue lines are the carbon dioxide rich blood, and red paths are oxygen rich blood. Flows from heart to the entire body. Heart is pumping the blood to the whole area of the body. If there is no blood, that area will be filled with carbon dioxide, and eventually that organ will be damaged, and eventually it occurs the death of the living being. So that is why these are the circulatory system. The circulation done from the pumping system of the heart, which is situated within the cage here, which is present over there, and it is protected very nicely. Fine. This is the circulatory system. Now, these circulatory systems, if we go beyond all the systems just we have talked about, from the skin to the musculoskeletal to the circulation, all are connected and very much well conversed. That means they can talk to each other, they can communicate, they can make a good continuating relationship. And who is making that? Those are the nerves. You can see the nerves are there. These are the fine lines and the nerves. Now I am just discriminating the all of you are able to see the Zoom image.
Yes, madam, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The blue vessels, these are called vessels. Okay, I am talking about the circulation. Circulation means where the blood flows. These red pipes, pipe is a layman word. In the anatomical terminology, it is vessel. Similarly, it is vessel. There are two vessels, types of vessels. One is carrying carbon dioxide rich blood, another one is carrying the oxygen rich blood. So, and finally, they are bifurcated into a very smaller parts, which is distinguished from a green one, right? There is a green line. See, there is a green pathways. These are comes under the circulation system, but it is a lymphatic circulation, lymph. Fine, this is not, the no blood is flowing through those green lines, green vessels. Those are the lymphatic circulation done through that. Okay, so if someone asking you about what are the circulation of the human body, so obviously the blood circulation and the lymph circulation, both combiningly, they are making the circulatory systems of the human body. If specifically someone asks you which is the blood circulatory system, then you must not take the name of the lymphatic vessels. Fine. So otherwise all comes under the, because the circulation happens. Circulation means flows happens, right? There's a flow happens within these pathway. Now, the most important part of the human organ, the system, there are the organ, but here the, can anybody tell me the most important organ for circulatory system?
Heart.
Heart. Heart.
Yes.
Heart,
Now
heart,
I'm,
madam.
yes, very good. Now I'm coming to the lungs. See, there are two lungs which is visible in the screen. There are two lungs in the screen, and as it is placed in the human body, in the back side and the front side. This is the position of the heart below the sternum, chest bone. There is a heart, and there are two sides. The lungs are present. Fine. These lungs, can you tell me which system, these organ is the most important ingredient or part of the system?
Respiratory system.
Respiratory system.
See, so these are the lungs, they're the respiratory system. So now coming into the, these is, see, the heart is there, the glands are there, the lymphatic nodes are there. These are called the lymphatic circulatory paths, and these are called the lymphatic nodes. These are called the lymphatic nodes. Only the green color, see, only the lymphatic nodes, lymphatic system. It is a lymphatic system. Only the green color nodes. The entire body is covered up with these nodes. Where are the most important position of the lymphatic nodes? See, basically there are, the arms are passing through. So here are the most of the, that underarms, necks. Here are the most important lymphatic nodes are there. And what are the purpose of this node? These nodes will help you to protect from germs. Immunity system provider. Immunity comes from those things. So hygiene, massage, regular exercise, and there are few circulation or few processes are mentioned in the anatomy book through which someone can detox their body germs or body toxins through these areas. So that's why the sweating will be mostly happen here, and here. Okay, these are the integral part of the immunity provider. And this is the main system which gives us the immunity. Fine. See, now along with that, now the the hero comes. This is the hero, the spinal cord and the brain. And the spinal cord and the brain are the pathways of provide signals. Signal means communication. Whether lymphatic node will work or not depends on the signal. Whether heart will pump or not depends on the signal. Whether lungs will flow the blood to the heart or not, breathing will be done properly or not, will be the final result of the signals. So all the signals are coming. These are the processors. These are the processor and these are the channels. These will process the entire signal and the entire process will be channeled through the spinal cord. Through the spinal cord, all the signals will be communicated to the entire body. Signals are coming outside periphery of the body are called peripheral signaling or peripheral nerves. And the signals, those are situated or basically fixed over that area is called, which is the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. There are two types of systems are there. Now, only the nerves. So once we are judging someone to someone's look, how they look, they basically look like that. Everybody is looking like that. Those who can signal better, they can look eventually better because their outcome will be good. And someone signaling entire internal signaling system is bad, there is so many consequences. How the looking and the presentation, the appearance, each and everything will be very, very minor in respect of the nervous system propulsion. So if someone's nervous system is very, very cool and calm and very, very activated, it is regulated, better to say, they can do good work. That is the Gita's lecture or the teaching. Samatvam yoga uchyate. That is buddhi yukta yahatiha. Buddhi means which comes from here, right? And uvi sukrita dushkrita, that means it can eliminate proper thing from the rotten thing. So that could be processed here only.
Bluetooth mode.
Next,
Then
this is the renal system or excretory system part of. I will talk to that part later. So now, how many systems you have learned? Can you summarize it?
Seven.
And what are the systems left? We haven't studied. We haven't seen basically.
Excretory system
Digestive
or
system. Digestive system.
Digestive system and digestive system and
excretory system.
excretory system. There is a small, very distorted picture. So I told you that we will find out a good demo there, and once we will study the excretory system, we will see the excretory system.
Respiratory and digestive system too.
So these are the excretory system basically, but the dimensions and the proper leveling is not done. The kidneys and where it is, just a minute. Fine, I will show you once again. Now the digestive system. See whether the digestive system is visible to you. I don't know whether in a screen it is visible or not. Yes,
It's
I
visible.
think it is visible.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am, it's visible.
Yes, this is the digestive system. Digestive system. Who can name the organs of the digestive system?
Ma'am,
Stomach.
stomach,
Stomach,
pancreas.
liver,
Okay,
pancreas,
before answering,
small
let me start.
intestine,
It starts
large
from mouth.
Just a
intestine.
minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Before answering my question, please let me know that do you have the clear idea of organ? Because repetitively I have mentioned the terminology organ. So now it is clear to you which one is organ, because you are supposed to tell me the name of the organs here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Now please tell me the names of the organs of the digestive system.
Sir, mouth, ma'am, mouth,
Stomach,
pharynx,
ma'am, stomach,
salivary
liver.
gland, esophagus, salivary gland, mouth, and pharynx, liver, pancreas, small intestine, large intestine.
Large intestine.
Organs are only liver, pancreas, and all digestive systems. I think so.
Rectum and anal canal.
Starting from this buccal cavity,
Mouth.
right? This is the buccal cavity.
Oral cavity, yes.
It's called buccal cavity, right? So this is a buccal cavity. Through the buccal cavity, the food we ingest, right? It's called ingestion. Once the food is ingested, then it will be digested. But ingestion should be done priorly first. Ingestion, there is salivary glands. The saliva will make it mostly the sugar and the carbohydrates will be digested, make a mold. It will go there. That chyme, there is a bolus. That thing will be called bolus. Will come down to the stomach. This is the mainly stomach here. The stomach will digest from the stomach juice, pancreatic juice. It will digest the protein, and here it's then the duodenum, the large intestine. There is a gallbladder. From the bile, the fat will be digested. Then it will follow. When we will study the entire system, we will study the entire thing. It will follow the small intestine part. Then the small intestine is not visible here. There is a very small, very large and very narrow tubes are there, and it will be mixed with the blood, the food particle over here. Then it will come to the large intestine. Then it will come out from the body. So it is the digestion system. Now I will give you the entire screenshot of the systems. The main systems, here the integumentary system is not mentioned. That is a morphology. Morphology means how human looks like. The radiance of the skin, the presence of the skin, the anatomical, geometrical shapes of the different nose, eyes, and it creates the beauty and the look. That is the morphology. And the morphology is a part, it's a layman term. The systematically we will call it integumentary system. Then skeletal system and muscular system, we generally call it musculoskeletal system. Then lymphatic system, we have seen there are circulation and the lymphatic nodes. The respiratory system, there are circulatory pathways, vessels, and the heart. There is a digestive system. Just now you have told me the names of the organs of the digestive system. The nervous system, the nerves, those are going to the periphery of the body, outside the peripheral, and which is confining within the center, which is a central nervous system. There are several glands of the human body, right? From those glands, the hormone secretes. This is the endocrine system. These are the positions of the different glands. Pituitary, thalamus, hypothalamus, thyroid, then pancreas. There's so many glands are there. The glands will provide the hormones and the enzymes. Basically, it triggers the body functionality and metabolism. And everything we are under that, if everything, whatever we are doing, everything under control of this pituitary, these glands basically, endocrine glands. Those are the endocrine systems. Cardiovascular system, cardiovascular means only the circulation of heart and not the lymphatic. Cardiovascular, you should have the clear difference between circulatory system and cardiovascular system. Circulatory system involves the lymphatic circulation as well as the cardiovascular and the blood circulation. But once we talk about the cardiovascular system, cardio means the heart. The heart pumps the blood, that is, comes under the cardiovascular system. Urinary system, which is a part of excretory system, once we will study it, we will see it, and the reproductive system to create a progeny. So these are systems of the human body. So 11 system, memorize it. There are 11 systems of the human body, not 10, not 9. There are 11 system, standard from the Grey's Anatomy, the most loved book, and all the reputed book of the anatomy and physiology, all of them have mentioned there are 11 nervous system, 11 human body system, starting from 1 to 11. Clear? Any doubt? Any confusion? So these are the very basic of human body. Now I will give you 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes to ask me any question based on this. Random question, or you can make a brainstorming session that when I approach to study the system, how will you like me to say that? What are the most basic part you never understood? What are the most complicated, you feel the most complicated one that should be addressed? I want one by one from you, because there are, if I give my annotation from this side only, it will be very, very specific. I need your feedback also. It should be both way interaction.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can you please summarize lymphatic system again, as I was disconnecting again and again?
Yes, I will do that. Let me know others' point of view also. One by one, I'm noting down.
Lymphatic system, that I also want to know about.
Okay. The most complicated area you faced so far, and I think all of you are familiar with the syllabus and the systems, and what are the anatomy and physiology are mostly coming into the different types of examination, including maybe NET examination, maybe CSI, maybe YCB, whatever the examination you are approaching or thinking. Which system or what are the most difficult area you want me to address? I just want to know this, because it is not possible to complete the whole system in a single day. So it will take at least a few span to cover it up. So let me know what are the difficult areas.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Which organ controls this lymphatic circulation,
Which organ?
or anything like heart controls our the blood circulation, like any organ or something which controls?
There is a lymph. Okay. Do you know what is lymph?
Not exactly.
Okay, just a minute. Fine. So once we think about the lymphatic circulation, okay, listen carefully. Okay. Once we are talking about the lymphatic circulation, it controlled by the organs like lymph nodes and lymph vessels. Fine. However, if you want to just like the regulation of the lymphatic system is a very difficult system. So if you want to know the regulation of the lymphatic system, that how it works closely with the immune system, where spleen comes, there spleen will be the most regulating organ. But if you're talking about the immunity, then thymus gland, right? There is spleen and the thymus gland. Both are present in the lymphatic system. But there are two discrete functionality of the lymphatic system. One is the removal of the toxicity of the body, and the second one is provide the immunity. Immunity means your fighting capability or fighting ability with the germs, which cannot be controlled by spleen only. There should be a thymus gland which is present over here. That thymus gland will train the white blood cells. Because white blood cells are the protector, they kill the germs. So that white blood cells, those who are getting training from the thymus gland, which is a part, remember, it is a part of the lymphatic system, they are called T cells. T stands for thymus. And the T cells are cytotoxic killer cells. They will do the immunity part. They will give the immunity system of the body. That whatever the situation arises, you never fall sick, or if you are falling sick, it will be resilient. You will be recovering as fast as possible. And the spleen, spleen is a pumping valves, and it is a part of the regulation. So immunity cannot be done through the spleen only. Clear?
Clear, ma'am.
Okay. Now,
Another thing, ma'am.
yes.
So, like our bone marrow generates our blood, so spleen produces these lymph.
It is a filter, blood filter, basically. Like removal of old and damaged blood cells, clear out cells debris. Who will eat those debris? Like the cells, those who are dying, who will eat those debris? And the microorganisms. Spleen will do that, right? And it, as you said, that lymphocytes are produced from pathogens detection. In case of pathogen detection, it will help. It is blood storage. If important for clotting also, that extra blood and platelets, like reservoir, like some situation happens, emergency happens, it will act as a blood reservoir. And the recycling, basically in the daily life, spleen is there is a term which is called splenectomy. If the spleen is removed, some cases we have seen that if spleen is removed, the immune system will be very, very damaged. The immune system will be damaged. Though I have said it will do the regulation, the immunity system will also work along with the thymus gland, but blood filtration, the eating or removal of the old red blood cells, damaged red blood cells, who will eat those things, right? So the microorganism, this all microorganism will be cleaning out as a debris by the spleen. It is the main functionality. Next. No. So weight loss means weight loss for whom? Weight loss, there is a basic BMR, and with respect to that, some weight is healthy weights, tolerance are fixed. If the tolerance are increasing, we can call it overweight. If the more about the tolerance, then it is called obesity. Fine. So the weight reducing basically if someone is maintaining the healthy lifestyle, healthy food habits, and the monitored carbohydrate, then it will not create any problem. And lymphatic system, basically immunity booster. So if someone, like those few postures I think you have, all of you are very much familiar with, like Matsasana, like Sarvangasana, where these areas will be triggered, the thymus area. There's a thymus gland. Sometimes it is called, or it is called, that after puberty, that means 14 or 15 years of age, crossing the child, the immunity thymus gland will be not that much of active. So who will not like the childhood days? So who will train? Now the training portions, the training of the white blood cells will be also reduced. That's why if you reach growing, eventually and simultaneously the training part of the white blood cells also reducing. So that's why the peoples are become weaker. The generation, the older generations are, they are getting weaker. So some researchers have said that yes, if you do those exercise and postures, it will, the generations of the blood, the cells are happening over there, like and the training part also be done through the thymus glands, and the immunity will be increased. And someone is having good immunity, good health, weight is not an issue, and healthy weight is always praised. Healthy weight, that means not like that someone should have the weight like modeling. No, there is a underweight, there is a very very risk to be underweight. Proper healthy weight with proper muscle tone. If someone is losing the muscle tone, the bones will be weaker. And if the bones will be weaker, the majority of the Indian women are facing the problem, because once they are approaching to the menopause, their estrogen production will be damaged and the bone density will be reduced. And they will feel too much amount of pain in the knees and the back sides of the waist and the torso area. They're having so much of pain, right? So for that, the muscle tone is very 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 much required, along with the bone density. And never come out from the home, never approaching to the sunlight. Vitamin D production will be completely hampered. That is why chances of overweight increasing. And stress is also the cause of overweight, and obesity is the cause of stress, bad food habit, and excessivity, no physical activities, laziness basically. So these are the part of the obesity. So if somebody,
Hello, I have a question.
yes,
You told just कि Indian women are facing that the bone problem. Majority of the Indian women, it's just because of estrogen is reducing.
yes, yes,
They-
yes, it's one of the, not only the one single reason there, out there. As I have told you, there is a very lesser chance to getting outside from the home. Those who are not overworking women, they basically spend their almost entire day within the home proximity, within the territory of the house, and they are not able to get the proper sunlight, healthy sunlight. And this is the one major cause. Second of all, the calcium rich the mostly the calcium rich food consumption, ingestion is required. They're not sometimes they are avoiding it. And because those are not tasty that much of. And sometimes those who are just approaching, because nowadays the menopause is it's one of the major reason, because it is seen every women, those even of the pre-menopause also, the women's are facing the back pains, the bone density reducing. After 40, it's very very normal. And that is why the few calcium rich product, proper pranayam, surya namaskar, and microcirculation like sukshma vyam, these are very much recommended to be healthy and to be immune. Not only to get the vaccines, you will get the immunity every time. The internal immunity is very very that means along with the adaptive, it's very, very important.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, this is related to recently many of the people, even who are in their early 30s, are having the surgery for getting the gallbladder removed. Ma'am, I wanted to know what is the reason.
Fat consumption, the too much of fat consumption. Now see, I think you are health enthusiasts, yoga practitioner, lover. That is why you have joined and to understand the anatomy of the human body. From that perspective, I am taking your question. So once you are asking this question, that means if you, I think you're very near circle. Someone's get removed their
Yes.
gallbladder. It is seen that that age is very much prone to fast food. Never exercise. Not exercise means not going to the gym and weightlifting and all like that. To understand the anatomy, why you are studying here anatomy? Because if you know the anatomy, you can target that area. If you're having a neck problem and if you know what are there in the neck area, how, like if you're feeling very stressed, I have told you, suppose I have told you in the class there are vagus nerve which is passing through from these area to the intestine. Only these information will be capable for you. And what will you do to get that information? There will be no the practical implications, but if you know how to ignite the vagus nerve, your stress will be vanished dramatically. If you do this exercise, which is there in the Sukshma Griva Sanchalan, there are so many microcirculations are given, but without knowing that, that is why anatomy, that means Atmapriya Nandaji from the Belumart, he has given a great instructions to the YCB. Please incorporate these syllabus to the yoga enthusiasts, because those who are becoming, someone is becoming a yoga teacher but having no basic knowledge of anatomy. Someone is being therapist, like assistant yoga therapist or like that, but no, doesn't know how to move the shoulder, and if it rotates in a wrong direction, what will be happening. So these things are required. Suppose you are having excessive back pain and you are doing Surya Namaskar because you don't know the anatomy and you are forcing yourself to do it. It will not only jeopardize your health, it will break down your mental stamina. So that is why anatomy is very, very important. Not, it is a bookish learning. It is not like that you are reading something from the book, you are understanding and you are just vomiting in the examination papers. It is not like that. Because if you want to be in this career, the skilled yoga practitioners are required. And it is very, very less, very, very less. And yoga, and I am proud that Yoga and Happiness is providing, giving you this platform to get to know the nitty-gritties of anatomy, because nobody will tell you. If someone knows, nobody will tell you. If that person is teaching behalf of some institution, they will not tell you, because you people will eventually forget. After some time you will forget it, because and you will be more enthusiastic, or to be very frank, you will be more interested to know your daily life things, like how the weight will be reduced, how the skin glow will come, how it will be more flexible, how all dress suits me. These are the questions. But no, once you are growing and growing growing glamorously. That is why yoga therapy and yoga is a only one way, and all these things are there incorporated into your syllabus. And just now, before few minutes back, the question someone has asked me about the question of the spleen. Barely I'm getting that kind of question from any class, and I appreciate that person, that who has asked me that he is having that instinct and interest to know what is happening inside. right? The way now you are learning the anatomy and physiology, not only that is why I'm asking you why you are interested and what are the most complicated area you have felt so far, that I will address those areas. Because someone can ask me what happened if Bhujewali Shakti Vikashak, there is a one circulation. I think all of you know there is a rotation of hand. Everybody will do. If we do it very fast, what will happen? What are the joints are there? And why we do Rabhava Pam? Why? And why we contemplate deep relaxation, deep breathing? Why everybody inculcating deep breathing? Everybody is telling us deep breathing. Okay, how is the
Ma'am,
nervous
I have a
system?
question. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
I just wanted to know, after your tremendous class, this class is very good. How should we update ourselves every time about anatomy? Maybe we will forget something because we are not doctors. So can you please advise us some books or something good for reading or updating ourselves?
You cannot memorize books. You need to know few things. You need to memorize it as a skilled person. Because
Okay.
you always feel yourself. My suggestion would be feel yourself as a specialist, yoga specialist, yogic person. You are not a layman. So, and yoga is, so if you are giving instructions to someone, that you will never talk like a layman. Not only it will reduce your reputation, you will be very, very commoner and very normal to all the people. I have so many yoga therapist students also. I make them assure that the body conducts, how you will conduct the body touch, body parts, how much, to some extent, how much you are capable to touch someone's body. So these are also the integral part of the learning yoga therapy, yoga. How pelvic, just a minute, I have a question from Khasami. How is the nervous system distributed? Okay, someone has asked me a question. How is the nervous system distributed in the brain and the spinal cord? What is the muscle memory and what is reflex? So many things. Nervous system. Okay, I am making it as simple as that. Okay, for you, just you have asked me how will you memorize the thing. Like nervous system, from the name it is evident there is a nerve, you are talking about some nerve, and how it is distributed in the brain and the spinal cord, someone has asked me. So always there are two parts distribution, two types of distribution. One is central nervous system, which is confining in the center brain. From the picture, recall the picture, there is a brain and spinal cord. These two things distributed over there. And a peripheral nervous system, those are coming out from the spinal cord. And if I go more on that, like brain is having cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, spinal cord, sensory messages, motor commands, reflexes. Like without needing the brain, faster reaction, that every time you never involve brain, like the way there is a, that is called the reflex. It is an automatic, quick and involuntary response. Stimulus to a stimulus. That means if someone give you bad words, someone calls you name, what will you do? Automatically you will give a repercussion. You will get angry, right? That is, and there is no such time you will need to think whether I should be getting angry, I should be angry or not. It will be automatically stimulus. Similarly, if stimulus is there, automatic involuntary quick response is the reflex. It's not conscious. It is not conscious, and no conscious thought is behind it. Fine. And muscle memory. Muscle memory, brain remembers everything. How to perform a movement. Like the example I can give you, like Paschimottanasana. You are performing Paschimottanasana. Day by day, as a beginner, it is very difficult to touch your feet. But after some day practicing, how will you be able to touch your feet? How? Those who are practitioners, it is for very easy for them to touch their feet. So what happens? Brain is memorizing your every movement and practice. So that is the muscle memory also. It is controlled by cerebellum. Cerebellum is the backside of the brain. Fine tuning, storing movement, every movement you do, like the way parade happens. Because today is Independence Day. We have seen the parade. Everybody is doing synchronously. How they can capable to do those synchronous movement? Brain memory. There is a muscle memory. Brain will be coordinated with the muscle, and all the muscles will be innervated by the nerves which is passing out from the brain. So if you do a particular, it is called, if you do one work for 30 days, you will be the practitioner. You will be able to called as a practitioner on that particular area. And it will become your habit. 30 days of practice. And who will memorize that? The brain will memorize it through the muscle. Muscle cannot memorize. Muscle is having the coordination with the brain through the nerves. Right? Are you getting my question? Now, no, I just want, these are all tough questions, but okay, like Anita has asked a question, ma'am, how pelvic openings are helpful for our nervous system? Okay, Anita, are you there? Anita, are you there? Are you there, Anita?
Yes, ma'am, she is there. I guess there is some voice issue.
Okay. Okay. Now someone is asking me the question, why so many infertility days happens? The main cause of low AMP level. So how this question is relevant to the complexity that you haven't understood through your yoga and anatomy syllabus? Yes, ma'am. Okay, Anita, I'm coming to. If it is possible, can you please unmute yourself? Now, Shuchishmita Chatterjee asking me why so many infertility.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, why so many? Why first tell me why you have asked this question?
Because every one of 5 students are coming to my class. They have either suffering from infertility, or they all have miscarriage, miscarriage problems. Yes.
Right.
Yes, yes. This type of problems they all have. That is why before 5 or 10 years or long ago, people don't have, especially ladies, they don't have this type of problems like infertility and all of those things, and miscarriage also. But now every 3 women, they have miscarriage. So that is why I'm asking why this happens.
No. For that, what are the steps you have taken? First, let me know what are the steps you have taken, or how you address these issues, or you just been silent.
No, not silent, ma'am. I'm giving them some lifestyle changes, like you have to change your dinacharya. You have to wake up in the morning, early morning. Your food should be homemade. Now all are eating outside food too much, and fried food also. burgers and all of those things, and some basic asanas which helps to regulate blood circulation in their reproductive organs. Sometimes that helps. Sometimes they are taking some IVF and IUI, this type of things. So why this happens? Yeah, it is my main questions.
Okay. Now the remedies you have given, or just you have advised them, what do you think? How these advices? What are the advices you have given to them? How these advice you can correlate with the anatomy and the physiology of a human body? What are the basic and which leads you to give those advice? Because you have something in your back end, and thinking on that you have given those advice, right?
Actually, ma'am, I also have one ruptured fallopian tube, one ectopic pregnancy. I am suffering last 2 years from this type of problems. Okay, so I'm very much I came this field only because I have this infertility problem. So my main queries is how we can help our increase our reproductive health.
Okay, before increasing the reproductive health, you need to know the advice you have given. I appreciate your advice. I just want to know that once you are giving the advice, you should have proper knowledge on that.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I have actually.
Yes.
I am pre and postnatal yoga teacher.
Yes.
I am teaching people and also infertility, but sometimes I in some places I just stop. What is the main reason of low AMH level? That is the main question, and nobody can give me the proper answer of these things. Why this happens?
Because, okay, I need to clarify this answer. Once you are giving the advice, it varies, human body varies from one to another. All the body parameters and the patterns are not same. So you cannot frame one single parameter for all, right? This is the first one. That is why what is same for all, that is the physiology and the anatomy. The way the internal organ works and the basic structure will be same for every individual. But the parameters, you have just given the advice based on what? Those are basically the parameters. Ectopic pregnancy, it is case specific. It doesn't mean someone is having ectopic pregnancy, all the women are having. You are finding out, you are filtering out few percentage, right? It is not the standard. Those are the abnormality. Those are the anomaly. Though, do not take the parameters as an anomaly parameters as your reference. What are standard? Standards are the human philosophy. Philosophy, that means how internal organ works. If you know doing Vadrasan, what will be the result for all standardized for normal expecting mothers, not the mothers those who are having anomalies and abnormalities. You cannot play with them because it will be having a heavy crucial legal issue, right? You should always think about it. All the parameters of human bodies are variable, not same, because you are a different individual. Someone is treating you, you are giving advice a different individual. You cannot make your parameters or medical history as a reference to give instructions to another, right? So, and what is the standard same for all? That is the anatomy, the structure, how the pelvic opens, how the question you asked, that is a very scientific question. How pelvic opens, through which posture, it is a very scientific question. But to whom you can prescribe it? Those who are having normal parameters, those who are falling under standard benches, not the anomalies. Those who are having problems, those who are having, suppose someone having fallopian tube, they're having problem in the fallopian tube or the multicyst ovary. nothing can recover it until or unless some hormonal treatments are being done, or giving some medical practitioner, licensed medical practitioner giving some license. Because some nowadays still in India, whoever comes under the C-section surgery or delivery, nobody will go to the Ayurveda doctors, right? Nobody will go to the yoga therapist. They will go to the normal hospital. And the way you have advised the people those anomaly conditions before prescribing someone who is having abnormal parameters, you must check the medical practitioner with all your advices.
That is all he's doing, ma'am. I am asking you, what is the main reason people are having low MH level? I am a Iyengar student, Iyengar yoga student.
Yes.
And I am taking all type of medical therapy, everything I did. And now I have a kid. So my main question is, why this happens? And I am a Iyengar teacher also.
Okay, so these may happen just the way you have just give the answers, or the reason you have specified. Those are very perfect. Those are very perfect answers you have given. That stress, lifestyle delay, and like egg quantity will be reducing after 30 to 40, 35, because of the mothers. I'm talking you the standard guidelines. If someone is reaching 35, the egg quantity will be reducing. If someone is hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis, that means chronic stress, they're having the menstrual cycle problem and disturbing ovulation. Someone is having very bad lifestyle, that means having uh, you know late night work office, work culture, workaholic, alcohol consumption, smoking. These will create this eventual stress. Poor diet, or all the things are whatever you have just suggest, those are perfectly all right. But these are the things, these are all daily habits, dinacharya. The dinacharya you can give a proper instruction, and whatever you did, it is correct. Dinacharya is correct. But medical condition, you need to follow the medical condition like PCOS, endometriosis, thyroid dysfunctioning, autoimmune disorder. These are all very complex and crucial part, and we are very unfortunate. We are having these increasing issue in our society nowadays. Why, we don't know. Maybe it is under research. Why it is happening, we don't know. These are the dinacharya. These are the, because someone is having, I have seen my own experience. I can tell you that someone is having very maintaining high office, constitutional office in Delhi. She is very busy woman, but she's having a healthy child. She's having too much of stress, work stress load, but she's having healthy child. So why it is happening, we also don't know. But
Doesn't have any answer, right, ma'am?
yes, doesn't have, because these are the triggers. These are the triggers, like the way just you have said, lifestyle changes, balances, but exceptions are also there. But generally, that is why the prenatal and postnatal, that these two things, these are very under, very demand. People need someone who can help them. If someone is expecting, there are people like you are in very demand, need people who can help them to maintain their dinacharya, because there the chances will be reduced if we take proper food. There is a debate, that a smoker and non-smoker. A smoker can live. I never smoke, but I have a lung cancer. But someone is smoking for long, but why he is having no cancer in the lung? So these thing happens, but we don't know the karma. But the dinacharya should be rectified.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yes. Now, any question? Okay. So See, these are all related queries, the complexities, but I am,
Ma'am, one question is there.
yes,
Sorry to interrupt you.
yes,
Ma'am,
please.
my question is, sometimes we find that in pregnant women, preeclampsia issues arises. But what happened? Generally, it happens all of a sudden. So, doctor who is treating the pregnant woman doesn't come under these circumstances or doesn't prescribe any medication related to pressure. But we find that preeclampsia all of a sudden means all of a sudden high shoot up of your pressure happens, and preeclampsia is observed later on, and as a result we find some untoward events also taking place. So in that case, what would be the precautionary measures, like uh, because before the pregnancy or during the pregnancy the mother diagnosis with no pressure related issues, but all of a sudden due to certain changes or any other impact, we find that preeclampsia happens and untoward event occurs also. So in that case, what would be the precautionary measures? Because often the doctor also neglect in the sense they do not come to know these situations may arise in the
Right.
later on in future. So in that case, what would be your suggestion, ma'am?
See, I'm not a doctor in this case, and obviously, my suggestion will be basically, which is a scientific, based on the scientific research. So, as a researcher, I can say that maintain healthy lifestyle. Just now, we were talking. I don't know her name. Just we were talking about the balanced diet. She has given the proper suggestion, like balanced diet. If someone is pregnant and getting fuchka or pani puri in the outside and very infectiously made, it will create the risk issue, right? So, and it will create the chance to get enter the germ and attack the immune system. And if immunity is hampered, what will happen? The urinary, that means secretion or urine tests will detect protein early, and if the urinal tests is getting bad or proteins are getting released, so that is why it is being advised that the pregnant woman before anomaly check before 20th week, the urine tests is recommended, because to stop this sudden fatality. So fatal growth monitoring, that is called ultra anomaly test, which is happening at the week 20, and these two things can reduce the risk. And regularly keeping the blood sugar maintained, maintaining the intake of sodium and potassium, these things, stress and rest. The stress is a killer and rest is a giver in during this. 7 to 8 hours of sleeps and more than that is recommended. And no aspirin, like during that time, due to the hormonal changes, progesterone, someone is taking progesterone orally, so that is why what happens, the pain will be induced, the so many pains, teeth pain, headache, so someone is, sometimes doctors are preferring aspirin. So these two things are never, that these are risk factors for women. The calcium, I have never took that. In my pregnancy, I never took that because I had a huge headache. I need to go out of the work, migraine and all. But calcium supplements will help close monitoring, high pressure, regular pressure monitoring. And obviously, sometimes nowadays, doctor 37 weeks, like 37 is eclampsia, the eclampsia happens after 37 weeks. Like the mother is waiting to have a healthy baby, and suddenly pressure boosts and the water broken, and it will be the dangerous condition for the kids, for the baby. So 37 weeks regular monitoring up to 37 weeks, and once 37 week is done, get the C-section done. or get the delivery done. Or if it is a normal delivery, sometimes the induced pain or delivery pain, wait for the normal. Those who are waiting for the normal, it will be nowadays not, nobody is waiting for the normal delivery. Very, very rare, because forceps babies chances will be higher. But precaution for the pre-eclampsia is after 37 weeks, regular monitoring and get the C-section done as early as possible.
Okay, ma'am. Okay,
Yes.
ma'am. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you, ma'am.
And before that, before 37, 32, after 20 weeks, once the anomaly test is done, regular monitoring of the pressure, blood pressure, reduce
Okay, ma'am.
sodium intake. That means जो salt हम लेते हैं खाने के साथ, reduce the sodium intake, and urine tests, balanced diet, hydration, most hydration, and moderate exercise. Moderate exercise under the guidance of the experts.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
They are only you people are required. These are required. Nowadays, everybody required the specialist like you. Because until and unless the awareness is increasing, it is being very difficult. I think Anita was asking, why this happening? Why this is happening, we don't know, but we need to take the steps. We need to stop it. We need to check it. By hook and crook, by following the food habits, by maintaining the lifestyles, by maintaining the proper postures, asanas, rest, sleep, digestion, whatever it is. And for that, the anatomy, the basic knowledge of anatomy is required. Right? So very interesting questions you are asking. Yes. Just a minute, please. Yes. Okay. So today we will know basic things. Okay, can anybody tell me the names of the face, facial areas, the names of the bones? How many bones are there in the face?
Cheekbone. And
Ma'am, frontal bone, maxillary bone, mandible bone, nasal bone, ethmoid bone.
How many bones are there in the facial area? Where is the Iyengar teacher?
8.
How many facial bones are there?
12 or
8
13 long, I
bones,
think.
but I don't remember all the names.
There are facial
14 bones?
There are 14 bones in the
14.
facial area. 14.
Yes, please.
Oh,
14 bones in the facial area, right?
okay.
So little learning, we should take a pledge that little learning is a dangerous in this case, right? Should learn as much as possible. Then only it will be compatible to become a. Hey, so I think someone is talking. Please mute yourself. Okay. So there is a maxilla. There is 2. Zygomatic. There is 2. We will see in the anatomy and the bony structure, or in the skeletal system, or in the skeleton, or in the we can call it atlas. We will see it next day. But today we will learn about the names of the facial bones and the cranial bones. The cranial bones are 8 and the facial bones are 14. There is a maxilla, zygomatic, nasal, lacrimal, palatine, inside, inferior nasal conchae, vomer, and mandible. So there are 14. There is a 2 maxilla, there is a zygomatic 2, nasal 2, lacrimal 2, palatine 2, inferior nasal conchae, which is also 2, vomer 1, mandible 1. So there are 14 facial structures, facial bones in the face, and cranial bones. There are 8 cranial bones. I will ask you tomorrow the names of the bones, and I do not want any excuse from anyone that I have forgotten the names. The frontal, parietal, temporal, occipital, sphenoid, and ethmoid. Right? There is a frontal, there's 2 parietal, there is a temporal, occipital, sphenoid, and ethmoid. There are 8 cranial bones and 14 facial bones. We do the facial massage. Once we do the facial massage, okay, the muscle which is overly situated or placed with along with the bone are very, very fragile and very, very active. So the pressure points and where the pressure must not be given, these things we will learn tomorrow. But thing is that these are the intricate part, and I will not tell you the secrets of the facial massage because it will take physical presence. It need physical presence to know those things. I will just show you superficially. Be ready with your pen and paper tomorrow. We will cover the entire skeletal system up to the which one? Up to the brachial. Okay, up to the torso we will learn it. Okay, up to that we will cover the entire skeletal and muscle. Along with that we will know the main major nerves through which you can reduce the stress. The nerves accumulation, nerve innervation will reduce the stress, like breathing, involving breathing, breathe in, breathe out, the accessory nerve and the phrenic nerve. These 2 nerves we will learn tomorrow, and the functionality of the diaphragm. Up to that we will study tomorrow. Okay, so now I think we will conclude the session for anatomy, and the way today you just interacted, so give applause to all of you. I wish you grow in your field, and whatever the suggestion, not the suggestion, whatever the help you need, I will be always there out there as per my knowledge is concerned, and to some extent whatever I know I will share with you. If anything you are feeling any problem or any doubt or any kind of confusion, please pause and ask me. Okay, and I will appreciate everyone join in time because today is a holiday. Keeping all the work aside, you have all joined. I really appreciate your enthusiasm, and closing the session here.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yes, thank you to all also.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So conclude.
मैम अगर थोड़ा हिंदी में बोलेंगे तो अच्छा होगा.
ठीक है, जरूर सर. My Hindi is not that much of good, dear, but I will try my best to communicate. मुझे तेरी तेरा में गड़बड़ हो जाता है. It happens to all Bengali, I think. So, but I will try my best. कोई भी गलती हो गई तो साइड पे रख के वो मेन चीज ले लेना. ठीक है.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Wonderful session.
Okay, closing
Thank
today's
you.
Very good, ma'am.
Join your
You learned a
hands.
lot.
Ma'am.
Join your hands. Close your eyes. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaः. Sarve santu niramanः. सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखाग्भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Rub your thumb, and when it is little warm, put it on your face. On your thumb. Take a deep breath. Take care, all of you. Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night, ma'am. Good night.